Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. We are here on a matter grave for our side, the Western region. This is the sale or the purported lease of 30 years to one Rai. The man, the president, said that either aende mbinguni, aende kwao, ama aweke chela. I don't know when he got sanitized. Now we are told he is the one now in charge of the very large, the only parastatal that was actively working in Zoya Sugar Company. Ladies and gentlemen, we believe that there are games behind this which are not good for our people, Western region. This matter of the lease was a court matter. The court matter, it has orders here as we talk. These court orders bar the Ministry of Agriculture, Livestock and Development. It also bars the Office of the Attorney General, the state law office, to continue with the lease, and it was given out, orders given out on 23rd of April, 2025. It states clearly that the matter was coming for 12th of May, 2025. Now the PS, in his own kind of thinking, he goes further to write a letter now here. The PS writes a letter here directing. Now the letter is written on 8th of May. When the matter is coming on 12th, which is a Monday, he writes on a Thursday, instructs all the MDs to call for a meeting on 9th now, Friday, so that on Saturday they hand over the factory in Zoya to one called Rai, the man in charge of West Kenya. We are now getting to know why they were rushing, because the matter was coming on Monday, setting a day for judgment. This is why we are saying, as people of this region, we are not going to allow Rai step and work in Zoya against the orders. Number two, we are asking if there is a disconnect between the Attorney General and the government, because the Attorney General was served with this court order. She has not advised, or he has not advised properly, the ministry, which is government. The ministry goes on to lease, because the order bars any further contract, issues with the leasing. Now it's leased, they have the court order. Now what will the court order do? Serve Kenyans. If we can't respect the institutions that we have in this country, I think this country is heading to where we do not know. People of Western have said no to Rai, because Rai is the one running Pan Paper. And the moment Rai took Pan Paper in 2016, there were promises that actually they will pay workers, the government will pay workers, up to, as I talk today and address this media, the staff of Pan Paper have not been paid from 2016. Now they are telling us that the staff of Nzoia, who have worked with Nzoia up to today, up to the day of takeover and handover, they will be vetted again, they will be reviewed, and then they are given 1 year to be in the farm, and then they will be left out. We have farmers who have money owed by Nzoia Sugar Company. The company owes them money. They are saying that it will be government which will pay, not Rai. Now, when you sell a factory or lease and change the name from Zoya to maybe Rai Sugar Mills, or whichever the name that will come, after handover, the name is changing. Farmers will sue who? Zoya will not be existing. And then the new farmers in Bungoma have got no contract with them. They will not sue the new farm. They will not see the desolate in Zoya then. We are asking a question. My farmers in Kabuchai, Chwele, Misihu, where? They don't know the doors of the ministry here, that they come to be asking their money from here. And they will not be allowed to enter Nzoia, because it will not be in Nzoia by that time. I'm asking myself simple questions. If this is how we are dealing with people. And then also, we are asking ourselves, where is the tender document? Where is some kind of central, where is the tender document that they used? There is no transparency in this matter. How many farms had to bid for this? Those are a few things I'm concerned with. We are here with the leaders. When you see seated here, all are leaders from the region. When you see my Excellency Onkio Mtapa, when you see the Sifuna Edwin, when you see Ototi, and when you see my good friend Tindimwale, you can see that Western is concerned about the laws of this thing scrupulously. My farmers are thrown, they don't know where to go and ask for this money from. So, and also, where is the full list of farmers that in Nzoia had this kind of farmers? Peter Wanyonyi has 76,000, Wafula had 10,000. All this is their total list. They require this money and they will be paid on this date. When they did that, on 8th, 9th, there was a meeting of the MDs. And then the minister, Mutai Kagwe, releases a press statement. In this press statement, he states how he is going to pay the staff of Nzoia up to 2020, up to 30, 2026. And then there's nowhere in this statement it's written how he will pay farmers. These are the concerns we are coming here. And even the contractors, the suppliers. That's why we are here. And as Majimbo Kalasinga, the member of parliament from the region where we grow cane, I'm saying no to this man. He will not be allowed to step. We are going to organize maandamano, both air and in the ground, to make sure he cannot land. Until they will pay our farmers, until they will pay our workers, and until they will put open the tender, how things went. And if we proceed, this must be challenged even in a court of law to review the entire of this process, not to work. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. As you are well aware, I come from Vihiga County, the Senate of Vihiga County, and in Vihiga we don't grow sugar. But I have come here in solidarity with the leaders of the other counties in the region, Busia County, Bungoma County, and the Kakamega County that grow sugar. And I want to say that what we are witnessing now is what we call a hostile takeover of Nzoia Sugar Company. This time facilitated by Kenya government. And we are concerned as leaders in the region because this is a further scheme to enhance economic disorganization of our region. Because, you know, our region has heavily dependent on sugarcane, and we have seen the mess that we have been subjected to as a region. This one is going to further economically alienate our people. And I want to join my colleagues who are saying that this process was not transparent, this process was opaque, this process is corruption in the making. We cannot allow Nzoia Sugar Company, that farmers contributed to its existence through providing land, acres and acres of land, to be taken away very easily. We have been in this process before. You remember, pan paper was taken in the same manner. Pan paper that cost 20 billion shillings was sold for a mere 900 million shillings on the pretext that it was going to be revived. Right now, when you go to pan paper, nothing is happening. The former employees who used to work for pan paper are living in abject poverty. Now, they want to do the same thing to Nzoia Sugar Company. We cannot allow this to happen. We cannot allow this to happen. The principle of public participation was not applied. Farmers were not consulted. The leaders were not consulted. The employees of Nzoia Sugar Company were not consulted. So who was consulted? So we are asking the President, William Ruto, that if indeed you are behind this, then it has gone against your own promise to the people of Western that you will revive the sugar mills in 6 months. Instead of reviving, you are killing the industry. Mumias has been working for some time through this Rice brother investor. But now, why change something that is working? We are now pitting a brother to a brother in Mumias Sugar Company. Just because of self-interest. We want to say that the Luya community must be respected. When you want to make a decision about our people, about economic institution in our region, we deserve to be consulted. Our people deserve to be consulted. You cannot just come overnight and say that you want to take over a mill, a public mill, and hand it to an investor who is known to be corrupt. They say once bitten, twice shy. We have been beaten badly in pan paper. And we cannot allow Nzoia to go the same direction. We cannot allow Mumias to go the same direction. So we are here to join the people of Bungoma and to tell them that we support you. Where is the evaluation report? Because before you sell a company or before you sell a factory, you have to do evaluation report. What does the evaluation report talk about? The cost of land. What does the evaluation report talk about? The cost of assets on that land, the building, the factory, and all that. No one knows. Only a few people know and right. So, Mr. President, we are telling you where you are, that the people of the region are not happy with the way you are conducting your affairs in the sugar industry, particularly Nzoia Sugar Company.
Yeah. So, members of the press, this matter of leasing sugar companies, the following sugar company, that is Nzoia Sugar Company, to West Kenya Sugar Company, Chemelil Sugar Company, to Kibos Sugar Company, Sugar and Allied Industries Limited, leasing of Sony Sugar Company, to Busia Sugar Industry Limited, and leasing of Horon Sugar Company to West Valley Sugar Company Limited is unacceptable. First of all, there's no common sense of leasing one sugar company to another one. What exactly are you doing? Giving one sugar company, instead of getting other players to come in and encourage that competition. When you do this, basically what you are doing is that those who are leasing the sugar companies will talk about the nucleus. I think there is about 24,000 acres. They're simply going to grow cane on that thing. There will be no need to grow cane from the farmers. And the whole reason why the farm land was taken away from farmers, right from Mumias, if you look at the colonial government's master print of sugar development in Kenya of 1952, it's very clear that the sugar industry was supposed to set up a nucleus estate and a mill to propel the generation and growing of sugarcane by the local farmers. So the beneficiary was not supposed to be ultimately the mill. It was supposed to be the farmers. So now when you return, when you take the 24,000 acres of Nzoia and give to West Kenya, any serious businessman will simply plow the 24 acres, grow the cane, and crush them in Cabras. That's how we have no business going to get other farmers. So basically, the whole foundation of this lease is nonsensical. Even if it was well intended, it's nonsensical. It doesn't make economic sense. Number two, there was an international tender which was issued, a copy of which I have on my phone here, and it was supposed to come to end on 21st of March and to be assessed. When you read the statement from the minister, it doesn't mention the tender at all. What happened to this international tender for leasing farms? What happened to it? And the flow with the international tender that was given 21 days when the law requires that an international tender should take at least 60 days, and on top of that, if it's necessary, it's 90 or up to 150 days. So why was this tender purportedly issued to fool some of us, and then it's not even mentioned anywhere? What were the results of this tender? Number 3, when you look at this statement, the opening statement in the press statement of the minister, it's total lies. It reads, the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development has entered into an agreement with sugarcane farmers and sugar factory workers unions to pay cane delivery and salary arrears owed to both farmers and workers. Where is that contract? Where are these contracts? We represent these people. Everybody was ambushed. They know nothing about this. So when a minister is telling a lie, what are we dealing with? Is this a government? So, further to that, they are not mentioning contractors, people who do cane. Personally, I'm a declared I'm a contractor in Zoya, and I went out of my way. I applied for them on debt because the company was not paying. I transported cane for them. My tractors transport cane. I'm owed about 15 million shillings. Now you are shutting out this company without telling me where is the. I'm not even aware. I just saw drivers calling me saying that the company has changed hands. So if I'm so entrenched in the company, the last board requested me to continue supplying, and many other people, to provide services to keep the company afloat. They would pay us later. Then you just get ambushed today that this company has been given to Rai and is going to be called Rai Sugar Mills. It's not acceptable. So there was the question that the people were involved is not true. Because if there were anybody to be involved, I ought to have been involved. I was just ambushed. And finally, some of these mills are mills that simply import sugar. And I'm trying to begin to see a bigger picture. Earlier on, there was a law that the sugar bill that passed in Parliament. It was said that only mills will be allowed to import sugar. Now, the mills have been given to some people who are known to be not very good characters to run. So now, some of these mills might not even crush sugar. They might just have tokenism, but the main business will be to dump Brazilian sugar in the economy, which has been the reason why sugar in Western Kenya has never taken off. But sugar is a very lucrative area because I transport sugarcane. And if you can get a lorry to go about 100 kilometers, 150 kilometers from Kakamega to Miwani to Chemelil, that's what my lorries do. They pick cane, they bring to the companies, they crush, and they sell and they make a profit. It means the sugar industry is extremely profitable. But when you look at the farmers, they are just paid a pittance, just something to keep them afloat. They don't benefit from it. What we require is a complete overhaul of the sugar industry, and the model that the colonial government had designed for Mumias, which was adopted by the Kenyatta administration, whereby ownership of the estate is public, management is private. When Mumias was at the peak, the managers, Bukatet, were private, but the ownership was the government of Kenya. Mumias began going into problems when they said they're privatizing. And remember, in the world there are two barons. You have drug barons and you have sugar barons. You don't have coffee barons, you don't have tea barons. Sugar and drugs are high-flying commodities, and in this particular place, I have no doubt that the Kenya Kwanza administration under President William Ruto are sugar barons. Thank you, and we are going to stop them.
Asante sana. Thank you so much. I want to join my colleagues from Western Kenya. I am the Senator of Nairobi. We don't grow any cane here. But those of you who know me know that I have to disclose my interest in this matter. First of all, my umbilical cord is buried in a sugarcane farm in a village called Kitinda in West Sangalo Ward, Kandui constituency of Bungoma County. We are sugarcane farmers. My second interest is that I also farm sugarcane in Bungoma. I am a farmer registered with Nzoia Sugar, and I grow that sugar cane on a farm that was left to me by my grandfather. I didn't grab anybody's land. So I have an interest in the matters and affairs of Nzoia Sugar and the Western Kenya as a whole. I want to join my colleagues here in saying that, first of all, as the people of Bungoma made it clear to me when I was there about 2 weeks ago, they told me that they are going to hold President William Ruto to his promise during the campaign that in fact he was not going to sell Nzoia, that he was going to upgrade the machinery, which has always been the biggest problem with Nzoia Sugar. There's a very serious case of inefficiency in the equipment that is there. Would you believe it, Senator Mtata, that equipment was there before Sifuna was born? Yeah. It is obsolete and it is very inefficient. The promise he made to the people of Kenya or the people of Bungoma was that we were going to get new machinery. Number two, let us be clear that the land on which Nzoia sits is owned by the people of Bungoma. It is community land that is vested in the county government of Bungoma. Therefore, if you want to have any conversation about that land, you must talk to the people of Bungoma through their representatives. And on this particular issue, because we have been here before, honorable members, we want the people of Western Kenya to draw a list of all their children in leadership. All of us who come from there. The MCA for Bukembe East, the Member of Parliament for Kandui, the Senator of Bungoma, the 9 members of Parliament from Bungoma, and the over 30 members of Parliament from Western Kenya. Each one of us will have to account to the people of Western Kenya if this machine is sold. Because as you've been told, we sold pan paper, and we were told that it was being revived. They went there and banned some, what are they called? Misogoro. I don't know what is it. The maize cobs, after you've removed the maize. And smoke billowed there for a week, and then they said they have revived pan paper. But they were after the assets of pan paper. The
forest concession.
Yeah. It is difficult for me to accept that in the entire world, there are only 2 or 3 families that can run sugar mills in Kenya. If you put out an international tender, and only 2 families from Kenya are the ones that are responding to that tender, there's a problem. The people who run sugar mills in Brazil, have they heard that Nzoia was looking for a strategic investor? How is it possible that we do an international tender and the respondents are not international people? They are just Kenyans here, running around from Webuye. That tells you that there's a problem. So I want the community to understand. And by the way, personally, as Sifuna, I do not think it is conscionable for anybody above the age of 40 to sign away public assets that are lasting more than 30 years. You will not be there to explain to the people 30 years later, if this machine doesn't revert to us, you will not be there to explain. These people who call themselves senior leaders in the region, they will not be there 30 years from now to explain to the people what happened. Questions will be sent to us, Kina Sifuna here, to explain to that generation what happened to these things. So anyone above the age of 40, what we call intergenerational equity does not allow you to sign off an airport for 30 years or Nzoia Sugar for 30 years. And I want to stand firm with the people of Western Kenya because I have disclosed my interest here. We will not allow this to happen. This, as the governor of Kisumu said, this is daylight robbery. There is no other way of putting it. This is daylight robbery. And the issues that have been raised here, number one, there needs to be a transparent process. If you go to Bungoma, the people of Bungoma want Nzoia to be fully functional. They want the machines to work. They want the company to work. They want to make money. This is the only economic activity we do in Bungoma. So it is not possible for you to come and take away the only economic activity. You know, in the entire Western Kenya, we don't export anything. At least these other regions, they have things they export. They export tea, they export macadamia, they export coffee. But in Bungoma, we only know sugarcane. So our expectation was that even this process, when it was being undertaken, it would be done in a transparent manner. That you will involve all the stakeholders, including the farmers, including the suppliers like Senator Mtata and the others. And number three, we are very suspicious that in fact these companies are after the land of Nzoia. It's a land grab. So all we are saying is that if, for as long as the process is not above board, we as leaders in the National Assembly and in the Senate, we will not accept it. And we are telling Rai, there are 1,000 ways to make people uncomfortable. You can sign away things at night there where you think the farmers will not be there. But I can assure you, if he knows the history of the Chetambe War, and he should also ask Moi what happened to his motorcade when he tried to access us without our permission. All these things are historical, they are there. We have ways and means, even in the spiritual realm. So nobody should joke around with this issue. This is a serious issue. We want these guys to be serious, to go through a transparent process, carry people along, carry the farmers along, carry the suppliers, every stakeholders, even the people who work in this company, to be carried along. Other than that, this is not a process that we can support. I thank you, and I want to stop there. If there are any questions, they should be directed to the gentleman from Bungoma. Thank you.
But you are one from Bungoma. You are our senior. Yeah. I think there are no questions. I think you have no questions. When you look at these leaders, look at this, even as Jesus, he had very few disciples. Who stood with him? 12. Yes.
11.
In fact, 11, one is the one who said, this is the one. So, we are here because we were voted. I was voted in a constituency called Kapchai, and I believe in those who voted for me. Some other friends also voted from other areas. They carried their cross. And you know, we shall stand in the court of the public. And these people you are seeing here, these are leaders who are standing with the people of Western. You can see for yourself. Those who are not here should rush very fast to come here. Should rush and come to say this in the same way. Or if they are part of the baron, sugar barons, as the Excellency said, you see, you are either with us or you are not with us. Or you are with the barons. You are either with us or you are our enemy. This is what we have for this. And as we have just put it very clear, leaders have said, I was with the President, William Samoei Ruto, Honorable Sifuna, when we were having the economic forum that was to be held in Bungoma. In fact, we planned for the economic forum to be done on Joa Sugar. We were denied the place because you know when, during that time, he was the deputy president and he wasn't allowed in the factory. We held it in Amtala Stadium in Kimilili. And we have the document with me that we are not going, after we win, 100 days, we are going to bring a new machine, not lease it. The issue of leasing has come after elections. My friend, we want to stop these political turncoats. We cannot always be telling people this route. Now we are starting to learn some leaders. If they tell you that come and meet me there, if you want to meet them, you go there. Maybe that is the way. We don't want to go that direction. I don't regret anything. I'm not apologizing to anybody.
Well, let me help him to answer that. I think let's not bring broad-based issues here. This is a matter that affects our people, and we've been elected to represent our people. So it is not about which political party you support. You can see Honorable Mutata is a party leader. I am a deputy party leader, SG of ODM. He's from Fort Kenya. So it is not about where you are a position politically. It is about the people and the interest of our region. That is the most important thing that has brought us here. The second question?
About the same, Your Excellency, I mean, my friend. About the same, we want also to see this. Broad-based government did not come to frustrate our people. I've listened to Senator Sifuna, the Secretary of ODM. He gave out the 10 points, what they signed for. Nzoia was not among the 10 points.
Rais Mruto alisema wakati huo akiwa upande wa Western kwamba kuna bwana moja ambaye anajulikana Rai. Wakati huo kwenye mabano alikuwa na uchafu fulani ndani yake. Sasa hivi ni mtu safi, ni kama pamba. Sasa hivi amepatiwa kuendesha kampuni.
Pesa ni sabuni ya roho. Wimbo iliimbwa si Majimbo Kalasinga. Nafikiri pesa iliosha. Because mzee rais alisema akiwa katika shamba la Nzoia ilikuwa inanyesha. Ilikuwa inanyesha. I was there. Saa 11 jioni. It was raining. He said mambo ni mata. Alikuwa anamaanisha Rai. He said either uende chela, uende kwenu ama uende mbinguni. So amekuja sasa kuchukua Nzoia yenye walikuwa tunaongea akiwa hapo. That's why we are saying that nobody is satisfied with this kind of lease. You said it's called a lease, not a sale. I want you to look at me very well. I am 57 years. At me 30, yeah? At me 30 years from 57. That is 87 years. Nitakuwa nafanya nini dunia? To me and my age is selling. To somebody who will be there, I don't know. You have also to reason this. You are giving a competitor. A competitor of Nzoia is Rai. He has been West Kenya competitor of Nzoia. You are taking now Nzoia to give the competitor a child to care for you. And give him 30 years. Supposing he dismantles the factory, takes to West Kenya, it corrupts in 5 years, it goes down because in 30 it will remain bush for 25 years. And then after 30 years, we don't know how it will come back. Imeisha bwana. Iko press statement hapa tutawapatia. And then you can have it. You can have this one is a speech of Mutahi Kagwe. This one is the letter from one Rono. It's called who? Yeah, Rono.